Hey there, truckers. Welcome to Redneckanize. All things trucking and then some. Hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, this is Ed with Redneckanize Radio. We're here live. It's it's getting on there. We're Friday free for all here, kind of just us. It's us. We get on here, we talk about things, and it's a little after 7 on the East Coast here, so we're getting things going. But we are live every weekday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can call in at 515-602-9731. Appreciate everybody joining in, listening along, and be part of the conversation. Just hit one. Or you can also check us out on YouTube Live. We're also on YouTube Live, so check things out on there, see how things go on there. One of the great sponsors I like to mention out here tonight is Trucker Tools. You can check them out at truckertools.com or go download their app, the Trucker Tools app, and that is on your app store. So check those guys out. And let's see here. We're going to keep things going along here. And there we go. So, yeah. My computer restarted, so I was going to play a video for y'all on YouTube and see how things go on our rides. We go on rides. I like riding. I don't know if any other truckers out there go riding, but man, it's addictive, especially when you got people to go riding with. So try to get out there as much as I can during the summer months here. And of course, it hadn't been raining. I mean, it ain't rained at all, like in a month and a half down here in South Texas. So not only is it dry, it's hot. And if you want to go outside, the only way to go outside is keep moving. So stick the arms in the wind. Let's go. Right. So we have a lot of fun doing that. We own a couple of rides. We did a little charity rides where we collect school supplies and then donate them to the charities that help kids with school supplies around here. And then normally just, the Harley dealership, they sponsor rides where everybody gets together and they go ride to a restaurant, have dinner, all that kind of stuff. So that's a lot of fun doing that. So if you live in an area where there's a Harley dealership, and even if you don't own a Harley, look them up, and you can also, go on a lot of rides. So there's one of the guys on there. He's got a couple of bikes. He's got a BMW. He's got a Harley, and he always brings the Harley to Harley, and he's like, I felt like getting the BMW out, and I said, well, that's what it is. Get out there and ride. So he showed up to the Harley event with his BMW, and everybody had a blast. So it's one of them things. So when you have an opportunity to get out riding, if you do, if you haven't never got into riding and you want to get into riding, the Harley dealership is also a great place to get your lessons. They got most dealerships, I do believe, have riding academies, and they got the bike. All you need to do is make sure you got your helmet and, of course, your good clothing and gloves. They say on there is a long shirt, long pants, long sleeve shirt, long pants, gloves, helmet, and everything else. They got the bikes. The bikes are the smaller bikes that the Harley doesn't make them anymore, I don't believe, but they're just a smaller caliber engine, and they're tweaked down to where they don't go very fast. I don't even think I think they took the gears out of them, so they only go up to like, third gear or second gear. But when you're in the course, you never take it above second, hardly ever. I mean, in fact, the second is like part of the class where they teach you how to change gears. That's it. Other than that, you never leave first, and the bikes are set up to where if they do fall over, they only fall over halfway. They got the bars on the handlebars and on the sides where they don't go all the way down. So it's always a good thing. Class is pretty easy, especially if you've practiced a little bit, before. And in the state of Texas, that's how you get your endorsement. You take the class, and then you pass the class. You take the test in the class. Once you pass that class, they give you a little certificate. You just go down to DPS office, hand that certificate, and they just stamp approval. You got an endorsement for a motorcycle. So pretty easy. I didn't think it was going to be that easy, but it was pretty easy. The only thing easier might be get your CDL, right? Because that's damn easy to get a CDL. And you wonder out there, how come we ain't making better money? Well, it's probably because it's too damn easy for anybody to get their CDL. And you got so many people out there that are willing to make less money, and they have a CDL because it's damn easy to get a CDL. So that's kind of stuff that goes on through there. So yeah, check that out. Yeah, if you're getting into riding, like I said, there's a lot of riding academies and schools and stuff like that. Harley Davidson, I think the dealerships mostly have all the classes that you can where you can get certified, uh, trained at least, get a better idea and and get endorsed. So check that out. But other than that, like I said, we're just kicking back. Don't forget, like I said, our sponsor, Trucker Tools app, truckertools.com. Go check them out. And we're just trucking around along here. And this is Redneckanize Radio. Let's see what else we can get into here. A lot of stuff going on. So yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, this is Ed with Redneckanize Radio. We're here live every weekday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call in 515-602-9731. Check out our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Please go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got Instagram, we got Twitter. You can check them all those links to redneckanize.com. Go check them out. You can see all the links to those social media accounts on redneckanize.com. Also, links to all our great sponsors. One of the great sponsors I like to mention right now is the DPF Regeneration. DPF Regeneration. You can check them out, dpfregeneration.com. Those great folks over there are the ones that are dealing with all of the, particulate filters and SCR units. And, if you got that new technology where you got to deal with a lot of the, aftermarket exhaust systems and all that, well, not only do they have that kind of diesel knowledge, they just got basic diesel knowledge, all kinds of diesel knowledge over there, where they can help you with different kind of parts and problems, and any size diesel engine, really any size, the big diesels, small diesels, farm equipment, all that stuff. But especially if you've got the particulate filters and you need that kind of stuff, you can check them out, dpfregeneration.com, or give them a call, 800-634-3010. And next time you talk to them, tell them you appreciate them supporting Redneckanize, because we really, really do appreciate them. So let me get over here and see. Check out the volume. Volume might be a little issue here. I'm going to try to turn this part down. And I think this one is the old one. Oh, it is the old one, isn't it? Because that's the picture I took of that. And yep. So, but I was trying to see if I can find, and I probably what I did was I let it sit there open, and then the computer restarted, and now we don't have anything. And now this one here, I moved stuff around so it ain't in there. So no, that's not it. And yeah, let's just close it out, because that ain't gonna happen. Other than that, rocking right along. There we go. All right, good deal. Appreciate everybody joining us along here. We're here, Redneckanize Radio, talking about all things trucking and then some. It's Friday free for all, and we're just kind of digging into things, what's going on in the news, maybe see what's going on. I saw that the AB5 out there in California, people are still talking about that. There was a couple of emails. There was an email actually sent to Ben Shapiro, and he didn't really get down. He was like, "Yeah, it's not a good. It's the AB5 is stupid law." I said, "Well, yeah, but break it down for us, Mr. Lawyer." No, he didn't do nothing. So he just said it's bad and all that. But again, like I talked about Tuesday, and we did a little bit Monday too. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to move out of the state of California? Are you willing to sue? They're talking about suing different parts of where was it at? It's private lawsuits may be crucial to enforcing AB5, labor attorney says. And that's in freightwaves.com. Regulatory efforts to less likely regulatory efforts, a less likely scenario in implementing California's independent contractor law. It says when enforcement of California's AB5 in the trucking sector begins, it may start with lawsuits filed by company employees rather than a top-down action by the state regulator. Because that was one of the points in a recent webinar by Transforce, a transportation solution firm that is touting its two-check system as a way for trucking companies to be compliant with AB5. It says the bottom-up enforcement effort would fall under the state's Private Attorney General Act of 2000, a 2004 law that empowers employees to sue employers as a sort of substitute for action by the Attorney General or a regulator. So what I'm to understand by that is that a company may just do what they want to do, regardless of AB5. And the only people that can do anything about it is going to be the people that want them to enforce the law, which, okay, so how many of that is there? And that's the thing. I mean, from what I see, the people that were protesting, everybody isn't pretty much going to say, you know what, whatever they need, I'll just do it, whatever. It don't matter. And that's pretty much what I think of it. It says it gives private citizens the power to do the work that the state doesn't want to do. Christopher Riley, a labor attorney with the law firm of Ogletree Deakins, said on the webinar. Riley said the state's labor commission could be a pathway to enforcement of AB5 in trucking, but that is the less likely scenario. They have generally chosen not to spend a ton of resources investigating wage and hour violations, he said. However, the observers of the state's labor landscape have said the California Division of Labor Enforcement Standards, which is part of the Department of Labor, is likely to be on the front lines of the enforcing of AB5 in trucking. Misclassification of an employee under AB5's ABC test used to determine independent contractor status could be an action under the PAGA. And it says when a misclassification suit under the PAGA is filed, Riley said, it typically trickles down to the multitude of violations. That could include missed meal or rest breaks. The PAGA action can then be expanded beyond misclassification. So yes, it can get expensive, and it is important to get ready, Riley said. These lawsuits generally benefit the attorney filing the PAGA action more than they do the workers or employees. See? So it's a nightmare. You added at the end of the process, an employee might walk out with $2.47. Oh man. So yeah, I mean, and says during the webinar, Lisa Mitchell, an AB5 dedicated solution specialist with Transforce, noted two other ways for the trucking sector to comply with AB5. One is to simply cease doing business in California. She conceded that that is completely unrealistic, though there has been anecdotal evidence that it may have occurred with some smaller carriers. The second would be to convert workers to employees, which has been as the primary goal of the backers of AB5. And that's what it is. See, they just want employees. They don't want contractors. They want employees. Employees get, you got to pay the taxes into the system, so they get revenue right off the bat. It's not, when you're a contractor, you're responsible for taxes, and a lot of times those contractors, they don't pay their taxes exactly when they're supposed to. So the state says, hey, you know what, if we make everybody employees, then we're guaranteed we're going to get a check from the from the carriers, from the employers, and then we can also demand, they got unemployment insurance, all that stuff, we can require, and then of course, you got withholdings and everything. But also, it's we can call our union buddies and say, hey, there's another company that's all employees, you can go unionize. Hey, sounds great to us, let's go do it. In a few short weeks since the Supreme Court decision not to review AB5, it has been the so-called brokerage model versus Transforce two-check plan that appears to be the leading pathway in which some place of an owner-operator contractor model can remain in California trucking. And what is completely owner-operator, which is like you said, like a broker, go through the brokers. So yeah. And I'm just saying, if I'm a truck driver, I'm looking at moving out of California. I don't know. I just don't see it at one bit how it's going to work. It's funny. I remember, well, it was back a long time ago. It was like 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that. It was a radio show. I was going down the highway one night, listening to a radio show, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. They were talking about trucking, and they brought in somebody from like the ATA talking about the driver shortage, of course, because there's been a driver shortage for 20 years, right? And so they were taking calls, and the truck driver called in. Oh man, you can't do nothing out here, man. This is crazy out here. You can't do nothing. All the rules and regulations, and Uncle Sam looking down your back, and the big brother, and da 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 and everything. And the radio host, he's like, so then why do you do it? He's like, oh, the freedom of the open road. Well, don't sound like there's a lot of freedom going on there, bud. And that's what it is, when your freedoms get taken away, it's like, why do the job? Why even do it? Go to some place where they pay you good, and just to hell with it, and because here's the thing, there's a lot of people out there that would love to have owner operators working for them. They would love it, and they would love to pay good money, but they can't afford it. And you want to say, well, the carriers, there's a lot of carriers out there. There are several carriers that will lowball everything, and they're the ones doing it, but not a lot of them do. Not a lot of these big carriers lowball, especially in different fields like the LTL and you got flatbed and tanker and dry bulk, all that stuff. You can't lowball a lot of that stuff because it's hard work and it costs money. Specialized like that. The lowballing is actually from like the Schneiders and the Swifts, where they've got so many trucks moving that they can't afford not to let any of them sit at all, whether or not they're sitting, whether or not they're going down the road making less money. They'd rather have them going around down the road making less money than no money at all, is what I'm saying. And the problem is there's a lot of owner operators that do the same thing. And it's like, just do away with it. I got wind, Schneider and self-driving trucks. There it is. Business Wire. Aurora. The Aurora Driver is a self-driving system designed to operate multiple vehicle types, from freight hauling, semi-trucks, to ride hailing. And what it is that Schneider has teamed up with Aurora to haul freight in Texas. So today, Aurora Innovations, a leading autonomous vehicle company, and Schneider National, a premier it's an intermodal. They're doing the it looks like they're doing intermodal. It says a multi-modal provider of transportation services announced a multi-phase commercial pilot to haul freight for Schneider's customers with the Aurora Driver, Aurora's autonomous technology. This pilot reflects an important step in the Schneider toward understanding how to incorporate autonomous trucks into its fleet and improve efficiencies and address the growing demand to move goods. Schneider hauls freight for over 9.3 million miles a day for America's biggest companies, creating an attractive value proposition for autonomous trucks that can haul freight 24/7, 365. Says the Aurora driver will begin weekly autonomous hauls this week between Dallas and Houston with Aurora vehicles operators on board. Load frequency is expected to increase as Schneider expands its relationship with Aurora. Working with Schneider will be instrumental as Aurora makes progress toward delivering Aurora Horizon, its subscription-based autonomous trucking product. The pilot will strengthen and prepare Aurora Horizon in 3 important areas ahead of its launch. Autonomy at scale. The Aurora driver learns from every load it hauls autonomously. As the scale of these pilots increases, so does the Aurora driver's experience. Vehicle readiness. Weekly hauls allow Aurora to test the durability of its next generation trucks based on PACCAR's Peterbilt 579M for commercial operations and deployment. Premium service. Aurora's 4th commercial pilot enables one of the industry's largest carriers to play a crucial role in testing and validating Aurora's product and services. And there you go. So if you're on Interstate 45 between Dallas and Houston, watch out. Autonomous trucks. I saw one the other night on 35, and you could tell when you see the truck going down the road, it's the visor. It's got everything attached to pretty much above the windshield. And that visor, and it's got, you know how sometimes you saw those oversized loads with the trucks that was pulling like, you know, some kind of oversized or mobile home, and they had like the metal tubing or reinforced mirrors above the windshield across the top, and that way it would actually have where they could slide the mirrors in and out. That's what it looks like, but it's all encased in one big deal. And what it is looks like they got radar on either side of the truck sticking out up like above top of the mirror. It's like radar, and you can see them spinning. And I mean, it's spinning inside. It's kind of like a clear little dome, and you can see the thing spinning inside them. And then the mirrors, like the blind spot mirrors out there on the hood, they got a bunch of stuff on them that are attached to those mirrors. So that's how it looks, and that's how you can tell. There was a driver in the truck when I saw it. I didn't know if the driver was driving or not driving, but the driver was in the seat, and his hand was on the steering wheel. So that's what I could tell you. And that was at like, 1 o'clock in the morning. So yep, looks like that's what's going to happen right there. Going through in Dallas to Houston, Interstate 45, and that's starting this week. And this was published on August 1st. So this week should be out there. So if you see them, give us a holler, take some pictures. They're already all over. If you got TikTok or anything like that, go check them out. They're all over the place where they're actually videoing. But the problem is that there's people in the trucks. They're not like, no, there's always somebody in those trucks. They're not, the law won't let them go by themselves yet. So just watch out. When the law changes, lawyers get a hold of it. The only thing I say, they said there's always a possibility that it won't affect anybody, because what's going to happen is if you live in these big cities, there might be more opportunity for you to get a local gig to where you're at the yard somewhere. Like the autonomous truck will come in by itself, pull in and park, or just pull in and stop. And you basically take control. Once the autonomous vehicle gets to the yard and stops, wherever it does, get parked, whatever, and then you take control of it. You either unhook the trailer, put the landing gear down. The truck might drive itself, but you still need to go out there as a driver. You're the one that can, unhook the trailer, and you might need to take control over it and hook it to the next trailer, that kind of thing. Where you can move the truck around. And then once you get everything hooked up and everything's set right, hit go on the autonomous truck, and the autonomous truck takes off. To me, it always reminds me of the military, where there was always a ready line. all the vehicles are parked in the parking lot. It's like, okay, now we're fixing to go on a mission or fixing to go do a job. And we pull all the vehicles around that are responsible for doing that job. And you pull them around and you stop, and it's like a one real long. It's like maybe 3 truck lengths, big truck trailer lengths long, probably about 200 feet long and about maybe 4 lanes wide. And everybody that's going along, you pull down there. Maybe we need 3 trucks. Maybe we need 2 buses. Maybe we need a wrecker, van, car, flatbed, whatever we need. Everybody pull down and get ready. It's okay. Everybody ready? Now let's go. And then everybody lined up and everybody goes, So you got like a ready line, and you got an inbound and an outbound. An autonomous truck pulls in, stops. You as a driver gets in there, gets in the truck, pulls around to the spot where you need to drop the trailer, whether it be in a door or wherever. Drop that trailer, go hook up to another trailer, maybe fuel the truck, clean the truck, whatever you need to do. Everything gets back ready. You pull back around to the ready line, pull up to the ready line. You get out, you're done. And then the computer system, somebody in the computer, whether it be another driver that learned on the computer inside or a dispatcher, can say, okay, that truck's good to go. Boom, send it. And then it takes off and it's back on the road. And you as a driver, you're now responsible for getting that truck ready to get going again. So that might be a possibility of a job, and since these trucks can move all hours of the night and all that stuff like that, then you're probably still going to need local drivers to take those trailers and put them into the shippers, go to the actual customers. There might be a point where, you got a Procter and Gamble yard on the south side of Dallas, and you're always going to need about, 5-10 drivers sitting there waiting for the autonomous trucks to come in. Maybe Procter and Gamble needs to hire some drivers to work their yard, so that might be a possibility, where they come into the yard, they come into the door there, and you then, once they get into the yard, then you maneuver the truck around. They're going to have to there's going to have to be like sensors, and I don't know. I just don't see it, and everybody's like, well, they're not going to be able to back up to the customers and all that. Well, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to be able to back up to the customers, to the doors, or deliver. There's going to be a lot of places where they're not going to be able to see and maneuver around. So yeah, the driver takes over, but that's there. Once they give it on the road, I mean, ain't that what we want? Ain't that what we want? That's all I need to do is maneuver the truck when at the yard, and at the end of the day, I can go home. Right? Isn't that the goal? As long as I get paid good money, and they're going to have to pay me good money because I got a CDL. Still, right? Somebody's always going to want to be paying money for that CDL. CDL is still worth something. Okay. And it's the drivers that can't show up on time that are not going to get hired. The drivers that have accidents, they're the ones that are not going to get hired. So there's always a possibility. Okay. I would like to see just more companies embrace the autonomous trucks in their over the road drivers goal. Like, you're over the road driver, you have an autonomous truck with you. Maybe it's not completely autonomous. Maybe there are problems. Maybe it doesn't have all the features. Maybe it does. But it's like, we still need you in there to maneuver. We want you in the truck. We'll pay you a good rate, whatever it is. As long as you're getting paid, as long as you're making money, you should be able to be willing to do whatever that's necessary so that you get in the autonomous truck. It's got a sleeper. And when during the day you're going to drive through downtown Dallas, okay, you got to be up and you got to drive through downtown Dallas. But once you're on Interstate 20, doing Atlanta, you can pretty much go back, watch TV, sleep, whatever you want. And once you get to Atlanta, then you get up and you start driving again. It's one of them things. Isn't that the goal? Wouldn't that be awesome to just be able to say, all right, you're on the road, I'm going to bed. Oh man. Be like Optimus Prime's taking over. Oh man. But yeah, that's kind of what they got on. So Schneider is going to start doing autonomous trucks from Dallas to Houston to Dallas, back and forth, hauling freight. It's probably going to be a lot of intermodal. They do a lot of that stuff, so that might be it. And yep. And then AB5, that's out there in California. Like I said, we talked about that a couple of times on Monday and Tuesday. And it's like, what are you willing to do? Yeah. I mean, if a carrier is treating you like crap, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to just walk away and let them keep treating everybody like crap? You got to get the word out. People got to talk about it. Other drivers need to know, hey man, you're getting treated like crap. You know, they're not paying their way. They're not doing what's best for you. They're not paying you good money. It's one of them things where we just got to stop doing that crap. We got to stop doing it. Just stop. Because like I said on Tuesday, okay, you can go in. What I said is the driver is too good of a person to let these carriers take advantage of them. And what happens is you get in there and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to demand this, demand that, demand that. And they're like, nope, we're not going to do that. And because you know why they do that? Because they know you need the job more than they need you. And everybody think, they're out there. Oh, they got a hiring bonus. They need me. The freight's sitting. They got to have me. Okay. They would rather let the freight sit, and they would rather have you quit or let you walk away than to give in to a lot of your demands. And that's God's honest truth. They don't care about that stuff. They don't care. They because and then the thing of it is though is it's kind of like one of those things where you might think, you know what, they're not going to give me that, I'm going to walk away. They're going to let you walk away because you know why? They got 10 other drivers, and it's going to happen. Probably about 8 of those 10 drivers were going to say, well, yeah, okay, that's fine, whatever you need, because they cave, because paying their bills and putting food on their table, they have to have that job in order to do that. They don't have a nest egg that they can fall back on to where they can say, I'm not putting up with your crap, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And I'll say, I'll do without a paycheck this week because I've got money in the bank that I can pay, the bills and put food on the table. That's fine. Okay. But that's the thing, is that if that's where you need to be. You need to be in a position to where you can say, I'm not doing that, I'm out of here. But you're not in that position. Hardly any driver is in that position to where they can say, you know what, I'm not doing that. They got to put up with it. Whatever you need. You go in there and you say, what I really need is I need this home time on this time. I need this many miles a week. I need, to run this certain area. I don't want to be hauling for these customers and all that. And they're going to say, tough, do what we tell you to do. And you're going to either do two things. You're going to walk away, which they don't care because, like you said, they got 10 other drivers that they're going to do the same speech with. And and then 8 of those 10 are going to cave. Or you'll cave. And you'll cave just like a lot of these owner operators. You'll cave because you're a good person. You're like, you know what? I need a job. You're good people. Let's do it. But you got to realize they're not good people. That's the thing. And you got to do what's best for you. You got to do what's best for you and your family. That's what you got to do. If you got to suck it up and make money, do what's best for you and your people. That's what you got to do. Now, if you don't have to do that, if you've got a way where you can still make money, and then tell these carriers, and if you're still looking for that perfect carrier, you can keep telling the carrier, no, I ain't doing that. Then you can. That's great. Keep doing it. Always keep looking. I tell them, even if you got a good job where you like what you're doing, you're making money, keep looking. It's kind of like keep them honest, because they know when you're looking, they get a phone call, they get an email, they get a report saying that you're looking. Especially these big companies like Averitt, Swift. What do you call, those big major companies? JB Hunt, Schneider, all those big ones. They get they get a report, and they'll say these ones here, these drivers, like there was a phone call or some kind of email sent from another carrier or somebody else looking, or their driving record got ran. The government got ran, and they know it. They get a report saying that you're that driver got ran. So somebody's checking your driving record, so they want to know what that's about. Like, what are you doing? You looking? Yeah, I'm looking. What are you looking for? What's wrong? And that's what they do. What's wrong with you? Why are you looking? But yeah. But like I said before, it's what are you willing to do? What are you willing to put up with? And you got to be prepared. You got to be the one. You have the power. You don't realize you do have the power. They are conniving, and the carriers are conniving. They are they know, they have the data, and they know that you'll cave. That's the thing. They 80% of the time, the driver will cave. You know, we're talking about, and going about owner operators, it's the same thing. You call on a load to a broker, you call in because the rate looks good. So you call and they say, nope, the rate ain't no good. That ain't the rate. This is the rate. But hey, you cover that for me at that rate and I'll hook you up the next time around. And guess what? You do it. And guess what? That next time around never comes. You know, or they say, you know what? I can't pay you that, but what I can do is give you increase the fuel surcharge. That way your percentage is still a little higher. You're not going to make that money that you looked at. When you looked at on the load board, you're going to make good money. You're not going to make that money, but you're still going to make, your $2 a mile.
90 seconds.
And you're going to make a little higher percentage of the load because I'm going to put more fuel surcharge on there. So it's not going to be what you need, but it's going to be what I can give you, the best I got. And you'll say, yeah, okay, that's what you'll do. What you need to do is click, hang up. That's what you need to do. And more people need to click, hang up. On those as owner operators, you got the most power because you got a truck. I mean, it's not like they can just put somebody under the driver in that truck. They can't. That's your truck.
60 seconds.
So yeah. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go to work, and it's one of those things where as a company driver, I get in the truck and they pay me a lot of money to run nights. They pay me good money to, go to point A to point B, and that's it. And it's one of those things where I get back in a timely manner. I get the job done. I don't have any accidents. That's a big deal. So if you're out there and you've got accidents, think about it. Okay. If you're out there and you can't really get anywhere on time because you can't calculate your miles correctly, think about it. So that kind of thing. But anyway, check us out. Like I said, we're Redneckanize Radio. We're here live every Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can call in at 515-602-9731.
10 seconds.
There we go. Closing it out. So, great sponsor, Load to Ride Transportation. That's ltrtransportation.com. Go check them out. Or they're at, where's it at? Give them a call, 720-277-0030. That's Load to Ride Transportation at ltrtransportation.com at 720-277-0030. And we pull it up here. How's that look? There you go. Sounds good, guys. All right, appreciate you. Go check us out, redneckanize.com. Don't forget to go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate everybody doing that for us. And like I said, every weekday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, you can give us a holler right here. 515-602-9731, redneckanize.com. We appreciate everybody's support out there. Don't forget Truckers for Hope in September. Truckers for Hope up there in Mill Hall, Pennsylvania, up by Interstate 80 in State College, Pennsylvania. Great. Looking forward to those people out there. Be the first time. We're expanding out, trying to get to more truck shows. So if you got a good truck show you're thinking about, let us know. And we'll keep tabs on that, see if we can keep going. Keep it doing. Appreciate everybody's support out there. This is Redneckanize Radio. All right, you guys stay safe, stay successful, keep between the ditches, and we'll see you out there on the road.
Today's truckers have a lot on their minds. Redneckanize was founded by truckers to help truckers and others to handle life on the road better. Check them out at redneckanize.com. When everything goes wrong and the job still has to get done, you got to Redneckanize. Thank you.